Hi, my name is Crystal Shannon, and today I'm presenting my mask project. Here we have my outside mask and my inside mask. My outside mask is how others perceive me, and my inside mask is how I identify or perceive myself. Before I jump into it, I would like to lead with this quote from our text that states, "The concept of identity is a complex one shaped by individual characteristics, family dynamics, historical factors, and social and political context," page 7. On my outside mask, I led with "Welcome to California" in South Central Los Angeles because I currently reside in Houston, Texas, and relocated here from Los Angeles. Often I am labeled as someone who is different, or I'm asked where I'm from because I do not behave, talk, or look like someone who is from Houston. And when I say look, I mean certain style of dressing, certain hairstyles, and such. Next, we have Black Lives Matter, Black Girls in Social Work, and Defend Black Womanhood. I put these because of my identity as a Black woman. Often, I am labeled this because I advocate and I love to just push for Black people, and I also love the field of social work and have been working in this field since my graduation 6 years ago. Next, I put young and able-bodied. And why I put young and able-bodied is because I'm often around people who are a lot older than me, whether it's personal, my friends, family, or it's professional, my coworkers, or such. And a lot of them are a lot older than me. They are quick to label me as someone who is young. Able-bodied, I put this because I don't need a lot of assistance when my day-to-day life. I am able to do a lot of things that someone who may have disabilities could not, such as running. I don't need hearing aids. Next, I have Black middle class. I put this because I'm privileged to afford a lot of things that many cannot, such as stable housing, a car note, car insurance, food stability, traveling, and other luxury items. And then next we have Christian. I put Christian because people automatically assume I am Christian based off my relationship with God and my ability to speak on my relationship with God. Lastly, I don't want to skip over, which is the label of strong Black woman. Many people label Black women as strong Black women because we're not afforded the privilege to be vulnerable, feel weak, or need a lot of assistance when it comes to our day to day lives. We're forced to be this strong label, or it's just this label that kind of disallows us the ability to feel weak. Now, on my inside mask, I led with intersectionality, understanding the social and political impacts of intersecting identities. As a Black woman in America, I've always compartmentalized myself in different categories based on what I thought defined me and who I was around at the time. I never realized that I could be all of those things at once until I was introduced to intersectionality. In the textbook, it states either or binary thinking that has been central in Eurocentric social thought is less relevant in intersectionality, page 60. As it relates to me, it helped me understand that my previous way of thinking was based on how I was socialized in a Eurocentric society. Now I understand that I'm not just a woman, I'm not just Black, I'm all of those things at one time. Next, you have vision, which is surrounded by words that are blurred because although people perceive me as someone who is able bodied, I do have to wear glasses fully from start to finish of my day. And if I was to not have my glasses, my daily activity will negatively be affected by that, such as driving, even go to work because I would not be able to see clear enough to complete tasks. Next, we have self-doubt. While I'm often labeled as a strong Black woman because I don't appear to look weak or I don't appear to need a lot of help, I do struggle with having feelings of just self-doubt and other feelings of imposter syndrome where I feel like what I'm doing is based off of luck, and that a lot of my achievements are just not of my own versus what I've been able to accomplish based off of the work I've completed. Next, I put religion is belief in someone else's experiences, where spirituality is having your own experience. And this, I put this because, like I said, I have a strong relationship with God, and many people like to identify me as Christian, which I don't have a problem with. But I also want to showcase that I don't just think that Christianity itself is why I have a relationship with God, but I understand that being labeled as Christian has a lot of privileges. I can assume that anyone I encounter will have a decent understanding of my religion or my beliefs, whereas someone may live in fear and have fears of violence or threats based off of their religious beliefs or their spirituality as well. Next, I put vulnerability because people's beliefs that I'm a strong Black woman, or I'm a strong woman, or I'm just a strong person overall. But there's a lot of times where I feel like I'm being vulnerable. And with that, I usually close in, or I'll keep that on the inside more often than on the outside, because it's used against me as a woman. I feel like masculinity, or those who identify as male, oftentimes put this idea that women are weak or are vulnerable, so I tend to keep that inside. Next, I have 28 because, again, this goes back to the thought of me being young based off of my age. I do understand that I am 28, and to some that may be young, but oftentimes I feel like I'm doing a lot of things later in life, such as completing grad school. A lot of people I know have completed it before the age of 25, and I feel like I'm a little bit behind other people. Next, I put I'm African American and I'm Black because I often deal with the struggles of identifying as African American and identifying as Black. And it's not too much of a struggle, but I just want to be able to understand the privilege of being Black in America or being African America, and then also the oppression of being Black in America, and then also identifying the contributions that Black Americans have made to the Black identity, whereas African American is often, the contributions are often pushed off to other things versus what has been begun in America. Now, going back to my outside mask, I feel like I skipped a few, and I just want to kind of go over them once again, just to make sure that I've touched on all points. On my outside mask, I put cisgendered because I'm often labeled as someone who is cisgendered based off of my conforming to the gender that was assigned to me, as well as heterosexuality. Because we live in a heteronormative society, people assume I'm heterosexual before anything. Again, it's just based off that feeling that anyone you meet is heterosexual unless you give them a reason, or unless a reason is shown why they may not be. And that is it on my mask project. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you like it.